Right, LOCI mechanisms again, and this time we are looking at a schematic diagram given to you, which has been drawn already, so you don't need to redraw it. It says here that there are two cranks, AB, which is that there, and CD, and they are joined by a rod, the rod that you see there, which has point P on the end. Then the motion is that AB rotates in a anti-clockwise direction. So that would be this way, right? Going that way. So this crank will go that way. And you need to understand, if this goes this way, that is going to pull towards that way, which means that this crank here, CD, is going to go in a clockwise direction. So what you are basically going to have is this motion that you see that I do with my fingers here. That goes anti-clockwise, which pulls that crank, and this is going to go into a clockwise direction. And all you need to do for one revolution is to trace the locus generated by point P. Okay, first things first, as always, you will take your set square and divide both circles, in this case, by 60 and 30. Okay, let's do that. 60 through the midpoint and 30. That's the first thing that you always do, and ensure that you have the various slots. It's from circumference to circumference through the midpoint. Okay, and then you swing it the other way around for the 60 through the midpoint like that, and through the midpoint like that. The halves are there already, and the quarters are there already, right? So that is already there. Okay, I just want to go over it again, making sure that it is there. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow that to be my point number 1, right? And because it goes this way around, I'm going to say point number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And that's how it's going to rotate. And this D is going to be my number 1. And because that rotates anti-clockwise, this is going to go clockwise. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Right? That's how it's going to work. So the 1 and 1 will work together, as you can see here. 1 and 1 work together. 2 and 2 will work in tandem. 3 and 3, and so forth and so on. Brilliant. Let's do it. So I'm going to move to number 2. So here's number 2. Clearly there's number 2, and here's number 2. I am going to draw a line from number 2 through that number 2 over there. Just like that. And then I'm going to take my compass and open up my compass wide enough from point P until point D. Right? Let's do that. Here it is. That is my opening there. Make sure it's nice and tight there. So that is that point. I'm going to just extend it a little further. Just see how that works. There we go. Now, that's that point. So I'm going to move to number 2. And I'm going to arc it on that line there. I've now created point P. That's there. And then I'm going to follow number 3 through number 3. Put my point, sharp point on 3, arc it there, That is my point P that I see there. Next one, I go 4. That's my number 4. So first my line, sorry, my line from 4 to 4. There's 4 to 4. And there's my number 4 point. Okay, that's P there. 5 and 5. Here we go. 5 and 5. There we go. Draw, and then I'm going to mark it off on the 5 line to mark point P there. 6 and 6. Let's go 6 and 6. Here's my number 6. It goes through the other number 6. And then I'm going to take from this 6, cut it off there. And there I have my P point on the 6. 7 and 7. There's my number 7. I'm going to draw a line through the number 7 on that side, and I'm taking my compass, put it on the, mark it off, and there's my marked point P there. That's all P. Number 8 and 8, that's 8 there, so I draw it through 8 like that there, and then I mark it from 8 on that line there. And that's where I mark my P point. 9 and 9, right, this is my number 9 there. It's going to go over the traffic of lines, but I keep my line in sight from that 9 point there. I mark it off here, right, that is my point there. Boom, that's my 9 point P. 10 and 10 is on this middle line here. If I should draw a line, I must just mark it off from here on that line there. It's slightly off the midpoint A, so that's point P. I mark it clearly. And then 11 and 11, there's 11, and it goes through this 11 over there. There's my 11, and I mark it off. Okay, I just need to extend it a little further. Let me extend it a little further because I've drawn it too short. There, that's my point there. I'm marking point P there. 12 and 12 is the last one. Through the 12, through that 12. I now keep that 12 in mind, and I mark it off there. That's going to be my 12 point there. That's point P. Now, that point there, I'm going to clearly go over it. That point, these are all my points generated by point P. Just like that. Now, you can see that this is going to go from here right around like that there. Make it nice and curvy, like that, and then it's going to swing back this way through that point and make it nice and round. No straight edges, nice and round. And then once you have that, you can actually take your, you can take my red, your color, which I'm going to show you here. You're obviously going to use your pencil only. I just need to show you how this nicely makes a shape formed by point P. Voila! Thank you very much. I hope that's going to be clear as to what you need to do and how to trace the locus of point P.